Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the podcast where when you're listening to this is Jordan's last week at his job.
Woohoo! Yay!
Yeah, I tried. I was trying. I really was. I can't do it.
Yeah, he did the old college try and it's a hard no.
Yeah, it's been 2 months and everybody in my family was like, wait 3 months or you need to at least make it a year. I can't do a year. I'm almost to three. I'm like 2.5 months. An extra 2 weeks is not going to change my mind.
Mm-mm.
I'm quitting. I can't do
Yeah.
it. I'll give them a 2 week notice. Hopefully they fire me.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what kind of person you'd be like at 6 months. I can't even
Oh
imagine
girl,
you being at a year.
I'm already depressed. I'm
Yeah.
already full of anxiety and I'm already losing weight from lack of eating.
Yeah,
I have
no.
I have three I have three signs of depression right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yay.
everybody telling Jordan to keep this job.
Yeah, my family's like, you can make
Mm-mm.
it. You can make no,
No.
no, 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 no,
Nope.
no, 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 no. I can't.
Nah.
My mom was like, you need to at least find a new job before. And I'm like, when do I have time? When do
Right.
I have time to look for a new job or to interview for a new job if I get an interview? When do I have
Right.
time?
Right. I'll be dead by the time the I get time to look for a new job.
Yeah. So that's not happening. So yeah, if you wanted to know how my week was going, that's how it's going. Like I cemented on Friday that I was quitting. Like
Yeah.
I texted everybody in our group chat and I was like, it's official. I'm quitting. I told my mom I'm quitting. I'm quitting.
Yeah. We were so excited for him, by the way.
Yeah, they're gonna I already drafted a resignation letter. Everyone's gonna look over it when we hang out tomorrow. Can't
I'm so
wait.
excited to read it.
Can't wait. It's very basic, but can't wait.
I mean, as long as it gets the job done.
As long as it gets the job done. How was your week?
Well, compared to yours, it was a lot better.
I
um,
bet.
I got my nails done with a friend of ours last Sunday. And 15 minutes before I was supposed to leave, um, I went out into the backyard to play with my dog, and then somehow my dad, me, and my brother started playing catch with a football. And I was like keeping track of the time. And then I was like, oh, I have to go. And my dad's like, okay, just one more, just one more. And he throws the ball at me and it's a little low. And so I go to grab it anyway. And I sprained my finger.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so the whole drive to the nail salon, I have my finger just wrapped in an ice bag. And then I get to the nail salon and my like half of my fingers already like purple, and it's still purple, by the way. I'm wearing a full little like finger cast.
Yes, she is.
Um and the lady comes by and she's like, oh yeah, we're ready for you. And I'm like, okay. And so every time she came to my left hand, that's where my finger is sprained, I would like immediately put it into position for her so she wouldn't move my finger. And then the only part that got me was when she had to turn my hand over and straighten out my fingers. And if you haven't sprained your finger before, your finger basically just wants to curl in on itself.
Yeah.
So straightening it isn't an option. So this lady, she's doing her job. I didn't tell her I sprained my finger.
You
I don't
probably
know why
should
I
have.
didn't.
You
I
probably
probably
should
should
have.
have.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was trying to be gentle anyway. She was gentle the whole time, but like her just like pulling my finger straight and down a little bit. I was just like, I was fine the whole time. It was at that point where I like looked at Leslie across the room and I was like, mm-mm.
No, no, no.
Like, no, this is not happening right now. This is not good. And I looked at her the whole time and she's looking at me like, what's going on? Are you okay?
We are not okay.
We are
No,
not okay.
we're not okay.
But yeah, my nails look great. I'm glad I got them. Uh we went book shopping. We got Pokey for the first time. We got Poke Bowls,
Mhm.
which are bomb, by the way. If you've never had Pokey, go get it.
Aren't you a vegetarian? Isn't that just like a rice bowl with vegetables?
And
Maybe tofu,
tofu.
maybe
Yeah,
tofu. Yeah.
but it was good.
Okay. She didn't actually have poke.
Yeah. Is it poke or pokey? I've heard it both ways.
I have no idea.
Okay. Either
Mm.
way, pokey. It was great. It was good. Uh, work was okay. It's all right. My
What's
boss
that
is
like?
my
What's that like?
my boss is really getting on my nerves and getting on the nerves of my coworker as well.
Hey, hey,
Um,
hey, hey, we could quit together.
we
We
can quit
we
together.
could email each other's bosses our resignation letters.
Bruh. I'd let you do that actually.
I'll do it for you. Do you want me to be nice, or is it a like fuck you, I'm leaving this place, you'll never see me again? What kind of
Um, I
aura do you
mean,
want to leave in the
I
office?
mean, you know the stories I tell you about him.
Yes.
So,
So no 2 week, an immediate, I'm done. Got it.
but yeah, it's gotten to the point where my coworker and we don't really bond. She's one of those like oversharers and like believes I should overshare in return,
Mhm.
which I don't. She knows barely anything about me.
Yeah, any job I've ever had, no one knows. They know the like surface level stuff
Oh,
about
oh
me.
yeah. Oh yeah. Um, we bonded Friday when she came to my desk and like our boss had walked out. He said he needed to make a phone call. I don't know if that was true. Um, but she comes over to the desk and she's like, "Yeah, this whole week, she's just like, I wanted to leave the second I got to work." She's like, "I don't want to be here today." She's like, "Thank God
Girl,
we're leaving early."
that's how I feel every time I open my work laptop.
and I and I and I was like, "Girl, like you can leave because she does certain things in the office that like we're on two different levels, okay? So she can leave once basically her work is done. I have to stay the whole day because I'm the office manager. But yeah, she gets to leave sometimes early in the day, like maybe 2 or 3 hours before our day is over, and I have to stay the whole dang time. And I'm just like, girl, you have no idea. Because I have to be with him for a whole day. You get to be here for a couple hours and then you get to leave.
Yeah, so if anyone is hiring out there, we're
Yeah,
both
anybody.
looking for a job. I mean, I can go back to doing like Uber
Yeah,
until
yeah.
I was thinking of taking like a 2 month break from
Honestly,
work,
you deserve it.
and
You
I might,
deserve it.
because like I have my trip to Hawaii in January, and I was like, do I start a new job and then like, hey, I know I've only been working here for a month, but I'm going to be gone
Right.
for a week.
Right.
So
That's how I felt when we went to Disneyland. Because at that point, I had only worked 2.5 weeks. And I was going up to him like, yeah, so I have a trip planned.
yeah, so sorry. I'm going to have to leave for four
Yeah.
days.
I hope that's okay. Because I'm going either way.
And then when I come back, I'm going to leave again.
Oh, geez. Yeah, maybe you should wait.
Hmm.
Recharge a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I might just do that. I might just do Uber. I
I
have a
mean, the
lot of money.
toll.
I have a lot of money in my bank account.
Yeah.
I don't buy gas.
No?
I haven't been eating.
Mm-mm.
And
Nope.
yeah, plus I'll get 2 more checks if I work 2 more weeks. Hopefully they fire me, like I said. So I'll be good for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, for your 2 months that you're taking.
Yeah, I'll just, if I need money, I'll do Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah,
Yeah, why not?
sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
My
I'm
mom is
glad
going
we've
to
talked this
kill
through.
me. But
Anyway,
anyway,
anyway. Are you ready to talk about this great Nicolas Cage movie?
I'm ready to talk about a Nicolas Cage movie. Yes.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, we are doing the Sorcerer's Apprentice this week.
Yes, she made me watch a Nicolas Cage movie after I've
Yes, I
said
did.
multiple times on this podcast I don't like Nicolas Cage movies.
So, also, I don't know if it's just my hearing or they changed the words on me, but I'm just gonna make this very clear from the get-go. Um, I thought they were saying prime millennium.
It's Primer Linian.
Yeah, it's prime millennium, and I did not know that until the last half of this movie. Also, I didn't know that they were saying Grimhold. I
What
thought they
did
were
you think
saying
they were saying?
I thought they were saying grimoire.
No, they most definitely said Grimhold.
Okay, because okay, I'm gonna schedule an appointment
Isn't
to get my
isn't
hearing
Grimoire
checked.
from what is that from? That's from something else. Is that from WandaVision? I feel like that's from WandaVision.
I thought it was from Vampire Diaries. That sounds something
It
very.
could be both.
It could be both at this point. Okay, so if you hear me say prime millennium, just know that
It's
or
Prime
prime.
Merlinian.
It's prime millennium, and if I say grimoire, I really mean grimhold. Okay.
Yeah,
I know I should have looked this up prior, but I believed my hearing. I
up
thought
to
I
the
was
end.
okay
Yeah.
up until the end. I should have had the subtitles on. Okay. So, we start this movie with a voiceover giving us the history of a war that's been going on between sorcerers, with Merlin at the head. We learn that Merlin told his secrets to three sorcerers named Balthazar, Veronica, and Horvath.
Yeah.
But
They the men have weird, like almost biblical names, and then Veronica.
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 I know. Like, did the name Veronica even exist?
Before like the 1800s? Who
Yeah,
knows?
who knows? But yeah, she's the only one of the three of them that have a regular name.
Yeah.
But only two of those sorcerers were loyal, and it's Veronica and Balthazar. Oops. Let me silence that. We are professionals here.
Yeah, very professional.
We learned that Morgana Le Fay was Merlin's greatest enemy, and Horvath joined her, and that they got the most deadly spell called the Rising that could raise the dead. Self-explanatory.
Why? I was lost the entire time. I was like, you can do so much, seemingly anything with magic. Why do
Mm-hmm.
you need to raise the dead?
Undead helpers?
Okay. But then that brings me with my gripe with like the whole like undead thing and like zombie thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, like your muscles are dead. Like you should not be able to move
True.
at all.
True.
Most dead people have decayed. Like there's no,
Yeah. Yeah.
unless you're like waking up freshly dead people,
Which
it's
they weren't,
useless.
by the way.
They were not. It's useless.
Yeah. And even if they called it a reanimation, if they're bones, then you're just reanimating their bones.
Yeah. Am I supposed to be scared of a skeleton? Because I'm not.
They really should have rethought the name of the spell and the definition.
Yeah. Like it reanimates the dead. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right, right. Or it gives new life to the dead, which
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yes.
So, we see a fight break out between Morgana and Merlin, and it looks to be that Morgana is losing. But with the help of Horvath, Morgana turns the tides and kills Merlin. Veronica and Balthazar then show up, and Veronica uses a spell to capture Morgana into herself. Um, but Morgana fights back against Veronica and takes control and starts to kill Veronica to get herself out. So Balthazar has to capture both of them in the Grim Hold.
Yes.
Grim Hold. After that, Balthasar fights many sorcerers that try to free Morgana and traps them in the same Grimhold, where eventually Horvath is added.
Is it the same Grimhold? Because seemingly it's like rushing nesting dolls. Like it's like
Yeah,
layers of Grimhold. So is it different Grimholds or is it the same Grimhold?
I think I want to say it's the same
Okay.
because you call a Russian doll a Russian doll. You don't call them Russian, you don't call them different things of different layers.
Okay. Okay, fine.
So I'm assuming it's a Grimhold that just has multiple layers.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know. There's no explanation.
No explanation.
We are told that as Merlin was dying, he gave Balthasar his dragon ring that would be used for his successor. That would
Dragon
be
tails, that's all I can think about whenever whenever that ring came up. I was like, it's the Dragon Tails thing.
Did you listen to that Dragon
We
Tales?
don't talk about that.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, no. I did not listen to that, and I never will.
Anyway, Merlin's successor would be the prime Merlinian.
Sounds like a type of fish.
Does Merlin. Let's go, Nemo.
Nemo.
And Balthasar would look for centuries for this prime Merlinian. We then get a montage of Balthasar going from country to country, looking for the chosen one, and we see time passing by as well. We then flash to New York, 2000. Dave is going on a field trip with his school. He is in 4th grade, by the way.
Yeah, with one teacher and like 20 children.
Yeah.
I was like, these numbers are not right. Why is there only one teacher watching all of these children?
Yeah. I mean, we were the same.
No.
My 4th grade class, we had 24, 26 kids, one teacher.
To watch you on school trips? They didn't have like parents?
We would have like 1 or 2 parents.
Yeah, there should have been a couple more adults.
Yeah, there should have been at least some volunteering parents.
That woman was by herself.
No wonder she lost one kid.
Yeah. Surprised she didn't lose more.
Right at that point. On the bus, David draws on the window a picture of Godzilla. Not Godzilla. What's his name? King Kong.
King Kong.
That lines up with the Empire State Building and impresses a girl that is in his class.
During this scene, my sister was like, I know him, I know her, I know him. And I was like, from what? And she was like, from like TV shows. She knew like all the little children that were in there. She was like, oh my gosh, she was like, that blonde girl was on, I don't remember. Jessie? Was that it? She was like, that blonde girl was on Jessie and that boy was on whatever. And I was like, oh, okay.
Wow. That's really weird. Different generation.
When did this movie come out?
I don't know. Like early 2010?
That'd be around the time she was watching Disney Channel. So yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
And Disney
likes to them. Good for them for getting future jobs.
Yeah, Disney loves to reuse
kids. Yeah. So during the field trip, David passes a note to Becky, who was the girl from the bus that was impressed with his drawing, asking her to be his girlfriend, and she marks it. She leaves it for him, but it blows in the wind, and by weird circumstances, flies to a back alley where it's stuck to the shop front called Arcana Cabana.
Arcana Cabana. Why did he chase this piece of paper for like 5 miles?
Right.
Just ask her.
Right. At that point. It then blows into the shop, which he enters. Don't do that, kids.
Yeah, don't do that. There's a lot of stuff that happens in this next scene that should not have happened.
Yeah. And the store is filled with lots of antiques that he almost breaks when Balthasar catches an urn that he almost knocks over. David tells him about the note that blew in by coincidence, and Balthasar catches on to that and says that he has something for him. Mm.
Yeah. Strike one.
Strike one.
Strike one.
Balthazar then takes out a box with Merlin's ring. He tells Dave to take the ring, and when David says no, the door closes.
Strike two.
Strike two. David then takes the ring, and it comes alive in his hand and it latches onto his finger. Balthazar then tells him that he's been looking for him for a long time.
Strike three. That's when you gotta go. That's officially the time when you have to leave.
Yeah, that's when you scream bloody murder
If
and run for the hills.
If you are a child and an adult ever says those words to you, you need to run.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are.
Find a cop, find a woman with some children. Get out of there.
Get out of there. He then tells him that he's going to be a strong sorcerer one day and tells him not to move as he goes to get something. As Balthazar gets his sorcerer's book, David accidentally finds the grimoire and opens it to release Horvath as he comes to life in a like cockroachy mess.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
It really was not necessary. Also, that says a lot about you if when you come back from like being held in some magical space, you come back in a heap of cockroaches.
Yeah. Bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
Horvath then asks David what time he's in when Balthazar comes back. Balthazar and Horvath fight each other for the grimoire as David hides with it. The building then catches on fire. Oh, yes.
Dave needed a stern talking to. What part of do not touch did he not understand?
Right.
He was like, don't touch anything. Immediately started poking and prodding every single thing.
Right. Uses his newfound magic to knock a thing open and then be like, oh, this thing has fallen to my feet. Let's touch it.
Right, let's touch it. Let's not try to put it back. Let's just toss it around in our hands.
Right. Let's just not ignore it. Like Balthazar said.
It's why I'm never having children.
Good luck to you if you ever become an uncle.
But no.
The building then catches on fire and Balthazar tells Dave to leave as he purposely gets himself and Horvath sucked into the urn from earlier. Once outside, Dave throws the Grimhold away as his class finds him. Somehow.
Yeah, they somehow found him and he ran like 2 blocks away.
Yeah, and down a sketchy alley.
Yeah.
Like, where did she think this boy was going? And it's not like you can ask random people in the street, hey, have you seen this kid with this color backpack? And they could have been like, bro. Dave then tries to tell his teacher about what happened. And when she tries to go into the store, he tells her not to. But the store is fine when they look inside. And he is laughed at when they think he's peed himself. It is now 10 years later. And it's Dave's birthday. And he's in a little studio apartment with his roommate, Bennett, who tries to get him to go out for his birthday. But he says he has to finish his Tesla coil project if he wants to graduate, and he also has to teach a physics class for his teacher. We also see that Dave still has the ring from Balthazar.
Dave is Dave being a TA. That sounds awful.
I was a TA. It wasn't too bad.
Did you have to teach classes?
Sometimes.
Oh, hell no. I
had to start classes sometimes.
Oh, no.
I'd get a text from my professor and they'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be like 10, 15 minutes late. Can you just like do this, this, and this? And I'm just like, I guess.
Pay me.
I mean, yeah, I was getting paid, but like at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to start this class. Because I feel like it's weird we're all the same age and I'm up at the front being like, yeah, you need to do this stuff.
I'm your master now.
Yeah, bow down. We then see Dave setting up to teach when his papers get thrown by the opening class door. As he's getting his papers, he recognizes one of the students as Becky. She doesn't remember him but only does when he brings up the Arcana Cabana incident.
Yeah, this woman's American accent is bad.
It's
It's
okay.
it's bad, Kelley. Come on. Come on, Kelley. It's bad.
Yeah.
You can very much tell she's doing an American accent. I didn't even
Yeah.
look her up and I could tell she was doing an American accent. I was like, girl, you're trying a little too hard.
Oh. I
Yeah.
mean, why couldn't she do an accent? I mean, they could have made her just a little British girl
I
or
don't know
whatever.
what is she British? I don't know. Like I
I
said,
don't know.
didn't look her up, but I could
I
tell she
feel
was
like
doing an accent.
I feel like I need to look her up now because like was it that bad? I don't think it was that bad, but don't trust my hearing because
Kelley, I noticed
obviously
it without looking her up. That's bad.
but I know and I also said not to trust me because I heard Primillennium and Grimoire.
Yes, she's Australian.
So
Just looked it up.
she's Australian?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Bad day for that woman.
I mean, she tried.
And then I think it eventually got better, or maybe I just stopped caring. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, so I don't know why he does this, but Dave tells Becky that he transferred after that fourth grade and got himself help.
Oh, I would have too. I would have transferred as well.
Yeah, I
That
really would have too.
that was embarrassing as hell. Would not go back to that school.
Mm-mm. Next day, I would have been like, "Mom, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry."
I'm so
Mm.
sorry. I'm not going back.
We then see the urn that Balthazar and Horvath were trapped in somebody's house, and it starts to shake. After Dave's class, he walks Becky to her job at the college radio station when lightning strikes her or their radio tower.
Sure.
Yeah. Inside, it's chaos as they try to figure out what's going on, but Dave ends up fixing it. It's awkward for a second between Dave and Becky, but Dave just says that he's going to leave now.
Becky was too like calm with the fact that he followed her to her job, went inside her
Yeah.
job, and then just started doing random stuff with like their equipment without being asked. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and just went in there and started pulling wires and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, you need it to get fixed, and if he knows what he's doing,
He says he knows what he's doing.
mm,
He's a physics person. What's that got to do with electronics?
I mean, but he's also making a Tesla coil, so maybe he knows some stuff about stuff like that.
Whatever. Whatever.
Whatever.
I'll let it go.
At Dave's basement workplace.
I'll talk about that later, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
we figure out what it actually is later on, but that's what I'm calling it for now.
I have some notes about that, but we'll get to that later.
Dave is working on his project as he tells Bennett about what happened with Becky, and Bennett is mad he let her go without asking her out. Dave then starts to listen to Becky on the radio station and uses the station unknowingly with his Tesla coils. The urn is still shaking, and the homeowners watch as it opens, and Horvath puffs out, and when he asks if he's the first one to come out, they pass out, and he takes that as his answer. Horvath then pushes the urn out a window as Balthazar starts to come out, and he catches himself right before he can hit the ground. Dave is back at his apartment, and he notices a paper from his fourth grade year stuck to his refrigerator, and Horvath is there. He is there from the Grimhold, and Dave tells him that he doesn't have it. He runs away, and Horvath sends wolves after him. They chase him to the subway station, and when Horvath gets there, we see Dave hidden among the tracks. As he runs away, he trips, and when the wolves go to get him, they transform into puppies. Balthazar then rides in on a huge metal, I called it a hawk, it's actually an eagle.
Okay.
A huge metal eagle, and he slows down Horvath with some like water spell and saves Dave as a train comes at them. They fly off back to the Empire State Building. Dave is in shock, and Balthazar tells him to calm down. But Dave tells him about the ridicule he suffered for the last 10 years, and Balthazar says that he doesn't care and
I
tells
would
him
I wouldn't care either. Like I was just trapped in an urn for 10 years. Like I don't
right,
care about your petty problems.
right. And Balthazar tells him about the Grimhold. Dave says that he wants to forget about magic altogether when his drawer appears with the ring in it. Balthazar threatens to help him out with Horvath coming to get Dave. They strike a deal that Dave helps Balthazar get the grimoire back, and that if he does, Dave will get to walk away from magic, which he agrees to. Balthazar then stands on the edge of the building and activates a spell that finds the Grimhold in downtown New York. Balthazar and Dave then go to an impound station and find Balthazar's old car that turns on the second he gets inside. On the drive, Balthazar then gives Dave a quick sorcerer's lesson. We find out that sorcerers use 100% of their brain.
Sure.
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 It's that movie with the Scarlett Johansson with the drug.
Oh, Lucy?
Lucy.
Yeah.
Yes.
God, that movie was awful.
It was very strange.
Yes. Strange is a good word.
Strange is a good word. That what they're doing is a mix of magic and science.
Which
I'm not going to break that down.
No, because it makes no sense.
Yeah. He tries to talk about molecules and stuff like that. I'm not good with science, so we're just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Balthazar then tells Dave how to do a fire spell, and Dave tries to do it, but he can't. He then tells Dave that he has to keep magic subtle because humans aren't supposed to know about it. We then see Horvath go back to Arcana Cabana and uses some memory magic to find the Grimhold, which is in Chinatown.
Which made no sense.
Yeah.
How can you do a memory spell on a memory you never had?
Right.
Or at least have the person there that you're doing the spell on. It made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, and then he was seeing stuff that no one else saw.
Mm-hmm. Like I would get if he had something of Dave's and was like, okay, let me see Dave's memory of what happened. But then he wouldn't know that somebody picked it up.
No.
Or where it ended up, because we only see somebody pick it up.
Yeah. It's all bad. They weren't thinking it through when they were writing that section.
They really did not. Balthazar and Dave are then in Chinatown at an apartment building, and Balthazar tells Dave to watch for Horvath as he goes inside. Balthazar goes into an acupuncture shop, and when the shop owner, an older lady, comes out, and he questions her about the Grimhold. Balthazar then attacks her when she is surprised he speaks Mandarin, but she is actually speaking Cantonese.
I was confused as fuck when he yeeted that woman into the wall. Yeah. I was like, what was that for?
Like, bro, she mixed up dialects. Like,
right?
Maybe she's just like, maybe her memory's not that great.
Right? Maybe she's just old. Why'd you have to throw her into a wall?
Right. But don't worry, y'all. It's actually Horvath. It's not some fragile old lady who has released. I'm going to butcher this name.
Do we have to say the name? Because I don't even remember.
I put down what I thought it sounded like.
Okay.
And it sounded like Sun Long.
Sure. Like I said.
Sure.
Don't know.
Yes, that we're just gonna call him that. As he materializes behind Balthazar and attacks him. Sun Long is thrown out of the window, and Dave is confused until Balthazar tells him to run. He does so, and Sun Long turns one of the dancing dragons into a real one that he controls with a metal dragon that is etched onto a belt that he wears. Balthazar then uses magic to hide the dragon as it chases after Dave. Balthazar in the shop turns to find Horvath gone, but he's only hiding. Balthazar finds him and binds him before taking the Grimhold and jumping out the window. Dave is caught in a corner basically and calls for Balthazar, but only finds Sun Long. And Dave tries to set him on fire, but he can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balthazar appears and instructs him on how to do it as the dragon keeps chasing. Eventually, Dave sets the dragon on Sun Long on fire, which also sets the real dragon on fire. Balthazar then finishes off Sun Long. Dave catches up with Balthazar, and he's so excited when Horvath sees and can't believe that Dave is the chosen one because he's wearing the dragon ring. The police then show up, and Balthazar and Dave are changed to look like police officers. And Balthazar explains what, quote unquote, happened.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened? To hide the fact that magic is actually being used. Balthazar then asks for a place that they can practice because Dave wants to learn about magic now. He didn't want to give up his ring after helping Balthazar. And Dave takes him to his converted subway basement workplace.
Sure.
But I'm going to call it a lair, by the way, because I didn't want to keep calling it subway station. At the lair, Balthazar gives Dave his incantus, which will help him become a sorcerer. They then start training so that Dave can fight Horvath. Balthazar creates a magic circle that will help Dave learn and is a contract of sorts that when he enters the magic circle, he can't step out. He has to commit himself to magic. He is then
can I get a free trial first? Right. See how this works.
Right.
Maybe I don't want like a lifetime of magic. Maybe I want a weekend of magic. Like let's test this out first.
I fired one fireball.
Yeah.
Just one.
Can
I do it again? Maybe see if I
do it one more time.
See if I like it. Get a 3-month free trial.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave is now Balthazar's apprentice. Balthazar tells him about his ring and how it's a sorcerer's vehicle to power their magic, and that the pointy shoes he gives to Dave helps channel it. I didn't understand the.
Sure. I thought the ring did that, but okay.
Yeah. Something about black leather pointy shoes.
Yeah.
We then see Horvath go to an associate to help find somebody to help him fight Balthazar. Back at training, Balthazar teaches Dave the plasma bolt. We then get a montage of him trying to master it. The next day, Horvath shows up to see Drake Stone, who is a magician in the human world. But apparently he is a Morganian, which, do we ever get an explanation about who or what a Morganian is?
I don't know. I just assumed they were just followers of
Morgana,
however you say her name.
Or Morgana, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they reference Morganians or Morganians a lot in this movie.
Yeah. Maybe it's like magical Nazis. I don't know.
Maybe.
Sure.
Horvath gets upset as his choice of job, but tells him that Balthazar has found the Primerlinian. Dave and Balthazar are still training, but stop to get dinner. And when Balthazar asks why he picked the location that they're at, we see Becky come out of her radio job.
Creepy. It's giving you vibes. It's giving you vibes.
No. Dave then watches as Becky leaves, and Balthazar tells him to not pursue it because of the danger it could bring to him. But Dave doesn't listen and chases after Becky.
Yeah, he says, she's the one. You don't even know her.
Yeah, you had, let's assume, one grade with her. One grade with her, or maybe 4 years of elementary school with her, and then one conversation 10 years later.
Yeah. You don't know her enough to know that she's the one. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Also, you don't stalk people at their jobs.
No. She even when when they like meet up, she's like, "Are you stalking me?" Like she literally asks him that
Mhm.
question. She's
She
like, "Are you
straight up asks.
are you stalking me?" Does he
Right.
answer? I don't
And he's like,
remember,
nah.
but he is.
I think he says no. He's like, he
Mm,
is. He really is.
he's a stalker and a liar. Got it.
Mm. When Dave catches up to Becky, he tells her how he listened to her radio show the other day as he walks her to the subway. When they're in the subway station, they get mugged, and after learning that the mugger took Becky's grandmother's bracelet, he goes after him. Dave then uses magic to subdue the guy and brings Becky back her stuff, and she is impressed. When she gets on the train, he suggests giving her help to study for her midterms, which he says is a date after she says yes to, but gets flustered and tries to explain it's not when the doors close and the train starts moving.
He also says he'll text her his address, but she never gave
They gave
him
him his
her
their
number.
number. Yeah, they never exchanged numbers
No,
unless they did it off screen.
which they just met before this. So why would she give him her number?
I
Disney.
don't know, man.
We can do better than this. We really can.
Hopefully, we can. Balthazar is behind Dave and tells him that love is a distraction for him and takes him back to training. The next day, Horvath is in the financial district with Blake, telling him that this is where the rising will happen and that they'll have to get Dave alone so that he can take his ring. Balthazar and Dave are training in their lair when Becky shows up and breaks Dave's concentration.
This here's where I talk about the lair.
Okay.
Okay, so she gets there and she knocks on the door and it's like a cage. Immediately would have
Yeah.
left. Immediately would have left. I'm not going into this locked cage with this random guy I met 2 days ago.
Yeah. That's giving you vibes. That's where
It's
he keeps
it's
you in his
you.
clear
He he
cage.
is Joe.
Yeah.
He is Joe. He's Joe
Yeah,
with
sorry to tell you
magic.
that. Oh no. No, Joe does not need
No,
magic.
Joe does not need magic.
Mm-mm.
Which, by the way, I only watched the first season of You. I don't know anything else about it. Actually, I didn't
Oh,
even watch the full first season. I think I had like 2 episodes left, and I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I
my
gave up.
my mom binged it in like a couple days, and
Um,
she's been telling me about it because I refuse to watch it.
I'm happy that she likes it. I tried. I really did.
Yeah,
Couldn't do it.
no, it's not. It's not for me.
It's not for
It's not for
me.
you.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
but I will
just
talk
the
about
thing.
what is for me later. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, so Dave hurries to go meet Becky, and he tells Balthazar to hide. Dave greets Becky and suggests other places to study, and Balthazar shows up pretending to be his uncle, saying that they had plans. Dave says that their plans were later and goes to leave, and Balthazar says he'll leave instead to get Dave's itch cream. I love how salty that was of him. Balthazar then goes to the Arcana Cabana, which doesn't look to be the Arcana Cabana anymore, but it still has like a sign on it that says Arcana Cabana.
Yeah. Weird that in New York City they didn't immediately grab up that real estate and turn it into something else.
Right.
You
And
would
he
for
goes
sure
down.
you would for sure think it would be turned into like a Starbucks or something.
Yeah, something. I mean, it is down a weird alley, but I mean, in New York City, prime real estate is
Real estate is
anything.
real estate.
Yeah, real estate is real estate. Balthazar then goes down to the basement to his hiding spot and looks through some items in his old bag, which we see a scroll with some type of like mixing spell,
Yeah, it's very
like
weird.
human mixing spell, and then a necklace in an old cloth. Back at the lair, Dave shows Becky his Tesla coils, um, making sound waves and it coming together to make music. He says he wouldn't have made the discovery without her and her radio station that he listened to the other day.
They're supposed to be studying. He's
He
supposed to
said they
be
were taking a
tutoring.
break.
They're supposed to be studying. She has exams coming up. Why she's taking physics, I don't know, but she does have exams coming up.
Yeah, that is true.
A little less music, a little more physics.
A little more physics. The next day, Dave drops Becky off at her class and they make plans for later. He then goes to the bathroom and is cornered by Blake, who knows that he's the prime Merlinium. Did I say that right?
No.
Prime
Merlinian.
Because my notes still say prime millennium. And I'm trying my hardest. Also, it's raining here. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's raining. It's gonna rain all day tomorrow.
I love rainy season. Where am I? Dave doesn't know what's going on, and Blake tries to make Dave fight him, but obviously Dave can't because he's still a new sorcerer. Horvath then shows up, and Dave tries to run. Horvath says that he's going to kill him, but before he does, he asks where the Grimhold is and where she is.
Ooh, she.
Ooh, she. Dave is confused, and Horvath puts doubt in Dave about trusting Balthazar and questions him about the Grimhold again. Balthazar then shows up, and him and Horvath fight and eventually saves Dave. After their encounter, Dave questions Balthazar about what's really going on and who's really in the Grimoire. Back at the lair, Balthazar tells Dave about Morgana, how Balthazar was one of Merlin's sorcerers, and how Dave is some kind of descendant of Merlin, and that he will save the world.
Which makes no sense, but keep going. I'm not going to get into how lineage works, but let's just keep going.
Dave doubts himself and his powers, and Balthazar tells him that he took an oath and that he will be set free when Dave really becomes the prime Merlinian. There we go. That's the point in the movie where I realized that they're saying prime Merlinian.
You got it, y'all.
Woo! Horvath then shows up to NYU and gets information about Dave from student services.
Sure.
Don't know.
It looked like it was a hallway, but yeah.
Yeah. About Dave's lair. At the lair, Dave and Balthazar are training, and Dave asks when he'll become the prime Merlinian, and Balthazar says when he can cast magic without his ring. Tank, Dave's dog, is there too to help with a fusion spell when Dave remembers his date with Becky. Balthazar tries to stop him, but gives in eventually. Dave goes to start cleaning the lair, but when he sees all the mess, pulls a Fantasia Mickey.
Yeah,
move.
It's very Fantasia.
Very Fantasia.
Mops and water everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Right. And he uses the magic to clean up. He leaves mid-spell to go clean himself up too. And more brooms, mops, and sponges start to over-clean.
Why did he have so many?
Yeah.
There were 20. Why did he have so many?
Yeah, they multiplied. What are you going to do with 20 sponges, my bro? Was it like a Costco deal? You just
yeah.
You're like, I need sponges. Picked up a box of 60, and you're like,
before he moved in, he went to Costco and went a little crazy.
A little overboard.
He was like, why buy one mop when I can buy 30?
They say there's a deal if you buy 5 or more.
Yeah.
So I'm getting 30.
Yeah, I'm getting 30. Am I going to give them to anyone? No.
Nope. They're my mops.
They're going to sit in my closet until I learn how to do magic, and then they're going to clean for me.
Exactly. When Dave gets out, the whole lair is flooded, and when he goes to stop it, it gets worse, and the mops start to fight back. Becky shows up, and he goes to greet her while mops cling to his back and annoy him and grab at him.
Yeah.
He acts weird, which Becky notices, and he tells her to leave because he's having issues.
Yeah, and she's like, got it, I'm gone.
Yeah, right. I love how that's her red flag.
Finally.
He's like, I've got issues. And she's like, got it. I'm out.
Got it. Gotta go.
She's like, say less.
Forgot I had a thing.
Right. Forgot I am getting my whole life back together.
Yeah,
and
we'll see each other. We'll see each other later. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Yeah, I'll call you. Definitely.
Yeah.
Things are getting more out of hand, and Dave almost gets electrocuted when Balthazar shows up and fixes everything, and he's upset. Dave gets upset too that he can't control a simple mop and cleaning spell, and Balthazar says that he isn't believing in himself, and that's what's the problem.
Okay, quick question. Quick little question.
Yes.
So when the whole like electrocution thing almost happened, was I crazy or did I hear Balthazar say like electrocution can kill a sorcerer or something like that?
I mean, it could kill anybody.
I swear I heard him say that. And then
Well, he technically says that's how a sorcerer loses his powers.
that's what it was. So remember that, y'all.
Remember that.
that, y'all.
Remember that. If you ever find a sorcerer in your life and you need to get rid of them, put them in a bathtub. Grab the old toaster. Plop.
They won't die, but they can't do magic.
New bath bomb just came in.
Yeah.
Sorry. Balthazar tries to cheer Dave up, but it doesn't work, and he leaves. Dave walks alone in the city and accidentally finds Becky at a cafe, but he doesn't go in. Becky notices and goes after him. Dave ends up back at the top of the Empire State Building and goes to throw the ring off the edge when Becky shows up, saying that she saw him at the cafe.
Why does she like him? He's weird. He gives off weird vibe. What is wrong with Becky?
I don't know what's wrong with Becky.
How did they get up here on the roof of this building? So many questions.
But she clearly likes him because she's afraid of heights, and she made the trek up.
Went like 50 plus stories up.
Stories high, yeah.
To talk to this man.
She really likes him, bro. What else can I say?
Don't know why.
Becky asks what he's doing up there, and he says a friend took him up here once. But Becky won't go stand next to him because she's afraid of heights. Becky then brings up the drawing that he did on the bus from 4th grade and says how his younger self is cool, was cool. And then he's like self-deprecating about it. But Becky says that she likes him now just as much as she did then. Back at the lair, Balthazar is cleaning up when Dave gets back wanting to talk, but it's not him. It's Blake in disguise. Horvath comes in and restrains Balthazar, and then tells Blake to search for the Grimhold. When he can't find it, Horvath puts out a spell that finds it for him. Balthazar tries to reconcile with Horvath, but he's still mad that Veronica chose Balthazar instead of him. Also, I hadn't seen this movie in a long time, and when he said that Horvath literally went to the dark side because he was rejected. I was like, what a white man move.
Just like a white man.
What a white man move.
Like, this one woman doesn't want me, so I'm gonna destroy the entire world. Okay, Jeff Bezos, calm down.
Basically, I'm like, man, this whole guy went to the dark side because one girl was like, actually, I'm more into your best friend than you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
We're not clicking. We're not vibing.
Yeah. We're more better as friends.
We could be friends. Friends!
He was only triggered when she said the word
yeah.
friends. And that's what made him... That was his villain origin story.
Yeah. The F word. Can never say that.
No. It's no, and if no doesn't get them, it's friend.
It's friend, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look for different vocab words when it comes to these type of names. Yeah.
Go on thesaurus.com.
Yeah.
Put in friend. Find a different one.
Like, we can be comrades. Amigos.
Yeah, we can be comrades.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, we can be, you can
Hey,
be my
we
hey buddy.
we make
Like
good
see you,
colleagues.
see me, hey. We make good
Yeah.
colleagues. We could be coworkers,
Yeah, we could be coworkers. We could start a business.
We start a business. I just don't want to date you.
Yeah.
Please get the hint.
Yeah. But don't kill me. Like
Don't kill me. Oh, the reality of being a woman. um I have lost myself.
they put
I have found myself.
okay.
It is late at night, guys. Well,
Yes.
late for me.
Late for us.
Late for us.
Because
Oh no, I'm getting into hysteric mode.
Because literally after this recording, I'm gonna go sit in my bed and edit and then go to sleep.
Me too. Okay. Horvath starts to tell him that he'll release Morgana when Balthazar releases himself. They fight one another, and Balthazar is almost taken out when Dave shows up and saves him. Horvath and Blake run away and get in their car, and Balthazar and Dave follow. They chase and fight each other around until Balthazar and Dave almost end up crushed in their car. Horvath and Blake escape, and Horvath makes a woman look like Veronica, which makes Balthazar pause in his chase, and Dave catches on. Back at their lair, Balthazar tells Dave about him, Veronica, and Horvath's friendship. But Balthazar and Horvath had a crush on Veronica, but she chose Balthazar, and Horvath betrayed them because of it.
I thought that was a great story for Balthazar to tell. He's like, but she chose me.
I'm the winner here.
I'm the winner.
And now he's trying to kill me because some girl picked me instead of him.
Yeah. Look at my haters always coming for me.
I got a line of them, bro.
If there's two things I got, it's bitches and haters.
Get that on a t-shirt, Balthazar. Dave then sets his resolve to free Veronica because he knows how it feels to love somebody. That's what Balthazar said. The next day, Blake and Horvath check to see if their plan is in place and talk about freeing the next person from the Grimhold, which is a witch.
Which is a witch.
Horvath tells
is a
Blake,
sorcerer and a witch different?
I think so.
Okay. Sure.
I think if I remember correctly, like sorcerers are more education based, and then witches are more like, I don't know, spell based or something like that. I don't know.
We'll talk about spells later.
We'll figure it out.
We really will, because I have some thoughts.
Horvath then tells Blake about the parasite spell that allows a sorcerer to steal another's power, which he does to Blake. At Becky's radio station, the little witch that was on the Grimhold shows up for her.
How did they find out about Becky? No, really? How did they find out about Becky?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean,
they never saw Becky with him.
I mean, they followed they followed Dave to the building where he dropped off. Yeah,
to his school.
But they
in
followed
New York
him.
City.
They followed him the day he dropped off Becky, so maybe they saw her then.
You're giving a lot of leeway.
I'm trying. Really are.
But okay.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Balthazar and Dave are in their car, and Balthazar makes Dave promise to do whatever it takes to defeat Morgana. Horvath stares at the last part of the Grimhold, and he takes the witch's power from her so that he can free Morgana. Balthazar and Dave show up at Blake's office, and Balthazar finds that the rising will happen at Battery Park as he gets stuck in a trap from Horvath. It's basically a rug that turns into like sinking sand or whatever. Sand.
Yeah.
Quicksand. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Dave explores another part and finds the Grimhold with Morgana and Veronica on respective sides. Horvath is there and has Becky in a hold and gives him the choice of his ring in the Grimhold for Becky. At the same time, Balthazar tries to free himself from the trap. Dave eventually gives up his ring and the Grimhold and gets Becky as Horvath makes off with it. Balthazar then shows up to find Dave and Becky together. Dave apologizes for giving up his ring and the Grimhold, but Balthazar understands. And when he goes to leave, Dave asks where he's going. Balthazar says he's going to Battery Park, where the rising is going to happen, and Dave says he'll go with him, but Balthazar says to stay, because he doesn't know how much more time the world has, because he doesn't know if he can defeat Horvath and Morgana.
Yeah. He's like, just enjoy your last minutes with your girl.
Balthazar then leaves on the metal bird, and after Becky freaks out about what's happening, she asks for the truth. Dave tells her that he's a sorcerer, and she's shocked. This shocked? Scene, well,
because she's like, wow, really? Okay.
I feel like she's in shock because, you know, when you get all that adrenaline, you say like weird things, or you're just like, yeah, okay, I totally believe you.
Yeah.
But like still processing everything. That's what I feel like she's going through right now.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She could be in shock.
Mm-hmm. Bennett, Dave's roommate, gets a call in the middle of his romantic date.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever was going on, it was not happening.
No.
I'm going to say that right now.
Poor Bennett.
Yeah. It's from Dave saying that he has an emergency and to meet him at the lair. Dave goes to let Becky out of the car and explains how he'll defeat Horvath without magic. He explains the rising and Morgana's plan, and Becky says that she's going to stay with him.
Why? That would be a very hard good luck coming from me. I'm like, good luck.
You're like, you know what? This is it for me. If this is it for everybody, then I'm gonna go out.
Right. I'm gonna go party.
I'm gonna do something for me.
If we're here tomorrow, I'll call you.
Right. We'll figure this out later, but not right now.
Not right now. I was just kidnapped by 2 sorcerers. I need a drink.
Bennett then helps Dave and Becky put his Tesla coil in the car. Horvath shows up at Battery Park and starts to release Morgana. Morgana is released in a black goo in the form of Veronica. Morgana tells Horvath to destroy the Grimhold and that she can't raise the dead until the circle is complete. Morgana starts her chant as Balthazar watches.
Here we go. Why is she saying words to do magic? Throughout the entirety of the movie, no one else had to say any words when they were performing magic. Why?
Maybe because it's required?
But if it's required, how come no one else has to do it?
I mean, in what's it called? We were watching it. It's the TV show 3 Witches, San Francisco. Charmed. They can do magic without an incantation, and then when they're fighting somebody, they use incantations.
Just finished the entire series so I can speak on this. They have active powers, like separate active powers that they can use by themselves. But if they need to defeat a big bad, then they have to use a spell in the book, or
then maybe the same rules apply.
I would think that, but they were doing literally every type of magic without speaking.
I mean, but to raise the dead, you would think you need a lot more. So enchanting or chanting would be required.
Fine, I'll allow it. Whatever. Whatever.
Okay. Dave sees the circle start to form. Becky can't see anything, presumably because she's not a sorcerer. And Dave pulls over to let Becky out with the mission to move the satellite to disrupt the circle. Before he lets her go, he asks what she checked on the note he sent her in 4th grade and says she'll answer when they finish Morgana.
Yeah. She was really thinking, I don't remember. That was 10 years ago.
Probably. Balthazar then sneaks close to Morgana and Horvath and prevents him from burning the Grimhold, and they start to fight. Dave is making his way to Battery Park, but is stopped when an old woman is taking her time getting out of a cab. I feel like that would be me. Like if I was a sorcerer on like an important mission, I'd run into traffic or something and I'd be like, well, I'm gonna be 20 minutes late, bro. Sorry, but I'll get there.
I'll get there. Please perform your spells slower.
Right, please.
Please.
Like, I appreciate your patience with me, but you're gonna have to speak a little slower. While this is happening, Becky makes her way to the satellite. Horvath animates the bronze bull to fight Balthazar. Becky gets to the satellite as Horvath tells Balthazar that the circle is almost complete. The circle is then complete, and Morgana starts the spell, and we see as people start to rise around the world. Dave shows up and activates the Tesla coil and takes out Horvath, and the metal bird comes and saves Balthazar from the bull. Becky gets the satellite to move, and the spell breaks, knocking out Veronica/Morgana. Balthazar goes to them and does the transfer spell to take Morgana from Veronica. Veronica wakes up, and as Balthazar fights off Morgana, he throws the Grimhold to Dave and tells him to seal him away. But Dave says he won't.
I would have did it immediately. I would have been like, cool, yeah.
I promised I'd do anything, and this is me doing anything.
I keep my promises.
Morgana frees herself from Balthazar and is a shadowy version of herself, and she goes to attack a weaker Balthazar when Dave steps up to protect him and Veronica. Dave sees that he's doing magic without the ring, and it's confirmed that he's the prime Merlinian.
Yay.
Yay! Morgana takes out Veronica and Balthazar, and Dave fires off plasma bolts at her, but one misses and it hits a nearby electric box, but he keeps firing at her. Morgana fights back, and we see wires from the electrical box slither out and connect to lights, as Dave's protection breaks down. He then uses the power of his Tesla coil and plasma bolts to finish Morgana. Dave goes to celebrate with Balthazar, but when he turns around, he finds Balthazar on the floor, and Veronica tells him that he's gone. Dave doesn't believe it, and after sitting for a second, tells Veronica to move, and he makes a magic circle and inputs plasma bolts into Balthazar's chest, and after a while, it works, and Balthazar wakes up. Dave passes him... What?
Okay.
Okay.
Every time Nicolas Cage almost dies in a movie, and it happens in literally every movie he's in, an angel loses its wings. It's played out. Let's stop with that. Can he just live a normal life in one of his movies?
Yeah.
He almost dies in every single movie he's ever been in.
He deserves to live a life in a movie.
He deserves to either live a normal life or to actually die. Like, can we please stop playing this game? It must be in his contract or something that he can't die.
Probably.
It's probably
you never know.
Probably is.
Dave then passes Balthazar the necklace he wanted to give to Veronica, and Balthazar and Veronica kiss, and he gets to put the necklace on her. Dave leaves them be and see Horvath's hat, but before he can do anything about it, Becky runs up to him and goes to answer what she wrote on the note, and Dave says that he doesn't care, and they kiss.
Okay.
Yes.
Horvath. How does he still have magic? He was electrocuted or whatever.
He was electrocuted, yeah.
How did he magically leave?
I mean, he could have just woken up and been like, I'm gonna crawl my way out.
He just walked away. He's like, well.
He's like, no magic, no fighting. I'm done.
I'm done. Let's hope we get a sequel. And just walks away.
I want to be in the sequel. Let's go scream. Becky then confirms that she checked a girlfriend before he asks if she'd like to go to have breakfast with him in France when the metal bird shows up. And that's where the movie ends.
Yeah, I thought she was afraid of heights, but like, yeah.
It was cured.
Yeah.
Or she's still running on adrenaline from saving the world.
Let's say the latter.
Let's say the latter. I'm going to hit you with some movie facts.
I'm ready.
One of the people that Horvath summons, the the little witch,
Mhm.
is Abigail Williams. She is a real historical figure. At age 12, Williams was the first person to make the accusation of witchcraft in 1692, Salem, Massachusetts. This led to the Salem Witch Trials and the deaths of at least 20 people.
I almost said I love that a child started that. That's not what I mean. Hopefully you understand what I mean when I say that. I think it's so funny that like a child was like, this person's a witch, and then they just went after a whole bunch of people for no reason because of a child.
Right.
I know back then when you were 12, you were like middle aged, but like still.
Right. Also, why would you believe a child?
I don't know. I constantly think children are lying to me at all times.
Because you never know what they're seeing. They're young. They don't process things like an adult does.
Yeah.
It
But
also says that there is no definite evidence of what happened to Williams after the trials ended.
she lived her life. She was like, well, that went too far. But
She's like,
what can
20
I do?
people?
Right?
Yikes.
She's like, yikes. I just did not like her.
I just did not like Elizabeth. And now
No.
19 other people are dead.
Now 19 other people are dead. This whole village was burnt down. I don't know what to say. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm
Sorry.
moving.
I'll move to New York. I'll change my
Right.
name.
I'll change my
It'll be
name.
fine.
No one will ever know.
No.
The Chinatown sequence took 5 months to plan and half a ton of confetti.
Ooh, fun.
I can't imagine what that was like to clean up.
Probably like New Year's Eve. They cleaned that
Yeah,
up pretty fast, so I'm sure it was
that's
fine.
true. I can't imagine though. That's a lot of confetti. Half a
It is a lot of
ton.
confetti.
Real wolves, excuse me, were used in the scene where they chased Dave down the street.
Oh, absolutely not.
However, they were overwhelmingly tame and affectionate creatures. So track points were painted on their faces so that CGI artists could animate a more scary face onto them.
I don't care. You could not pay me to have wolves chase me.
Chase you?
First off, I'm black. No.
Yeah.
No. There's negative connotations with that. So no. Secondly, I don't care.
You could get the tamest wolves out there.
Yeah.
They'd see me and it'd be like some switch in their brain.
Yeah, absolutely not. Secondly, I'm not letting a wild animal, I don't care how quote unquote tame it is, chase me.
True.
No. Mm-mm.
Animals are animals.
Animals are
At the end of
animals.
the day.
Mm.
The 1935 Rolls Royce Phantom that was used in the film is a one of a kind and actually belongs to Nicolas Cage. The filmmakers were trying to find a really cool classic car, and Cage offered it as an option to use.
Doesn't that car get like destroyed?
No, it gets changed into a different car.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then it gets changed into a Pinto, and then it gets crushed.
Okay. You can crush a Pinto. Who cares?
Yeah, you can crush a Pinto. Okay, so I think I already know your answer to this question.
Do you?
But
do you?
Yes. Iconic or not?
I put no, but I thought it was okay. It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
See?
I thought it was going to be worse. I really did. This is a pretty good Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
That's the highest.
Yeah.
That's the highest honor I can give it. It's a pretty good Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah. Any other Nicolas Cage movie, you're gonna say instantly no, and it's a bad movie.
Yeah. The Rock, awful. What is that? What's that movie called? Gone in 30 Seconds? Is that what it's called?
60 Seconds.
60 Seconds, awful. Ghost Rider 1 and 2, awful.
I mean, Gone in 60 Seconds is good though. Okay. Anyway. Well, we already know my stance on this movie. I think it's iconic.
Yeah, she does.
I I like this movie. For some reason, I like watching this movie in fall too. It just gives me warm fuzzies. The music is great. The
It's very
animation,
2010.
yeah, I love it. Very nostalgic. The animation is actually really good. Can I
Yeah,
just say that right
not
now?
bad, not bad. Yeah.
Like for a non-Marvel movie, this CGI is really good.
Yeah, they put some money into this.
Right. I'm so down with it. Also, I'm kind of sad that there wasn't a sequel, but the story did end, so maybe I'm glad there isn't one
There was
because
not a
it would have
need for a
ruined it.
sequel.
There was no need for a sequel,
There
but
was
I'm
there
glad there
wa-
is this
there
movie.
was an end credit scene though. Did I
Oh.
understand what it was about? Absolutely not. It was literally a hand grabbing like what I assume was Merlin's hat. Like that's all it was.
Yeah. I think they put that at the very end because they're like, nobody's gonna stay. It's not a Marvel movie. So if it does flop,
No one will care.
no one will care. And we won't have to make a sequel. It probably would have been like a prequel anyway,
Probably.
which no, thank you. I'm all right. Okay. Any recommendations for this week?
Oh, yes, yes, I do. I hinted at this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Lock and Key season 2 is out, y'all. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
I watched the first episode today. Can't wait to finish the season.
Ooh.
They did a recap and I forgot a lot.
Really?
I forgot a lot of stuff. I was like, oh, who's that person? What's happening? I
Where
I,
am I?
I was a little confused, but I got it. I'm good now.
Okay.
I know where I am.
All right. I know where I am.
I know where I am. Um, Second one is Just Like Magic by Ariana Grande. It's been keeping me alive.
Let's
Been
go.
playing it in the morning to like try to give myself some serotonin. Not working, but like I'm trying.
Oh, yeah. At least you're trying.
I'm trying.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, but that's it for me.
Okay. And I've got two music recommendations this week. My first one is called 35 by Rob Rua and Ka Hao. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Girl, you're gonna have to put that in for the
I
words
yeah.
because
Yeah, I will. I'll type that out for you. I don't know if it's been on your TikTok because apparently this is a very niche song, I guess. But I've seen Maori. I hope I'm also saying that correctly. People dancing to it, and it looks very beautiful. And I just love the song anyway. It's very upbeat, Islander vibes, very beautiful. Second is Tongue Tied by Group Love.
oh,
Love that song.
do I know that song?
I'm sure you do.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
I
But that's
probably
it
at
for
least
me.
heard it.
You've heard it.
Okay, that was a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we watched it. So, thank you for listening. If you listened all the way through,
Thank
we
you.
had some good jokes at the end, so I really hope you made it all the way here.
I love how all of our like best jokes happen near the end, and we're all
Yeah,
like, "Damn, I hope people really listen."
right. I hope you made it this far. Yeah, don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both at SYTYI Podcast. We have a Facebook where we put up old episodes.
A Facebook?
Oh, shiitake mushrooms. I meant
A
a YouTube.
YouTube.
I might be able to put up the Ginger Dead Man 2 episode tonight.
Oh,
So hopefully when you're listening to this, that's up.
what a doozy.
That was a doozy.
Never again.
Listen to that. Yes.
An hour and something I will never get back.
No, we will never
You will
get
never
that.
get back.
We'll never get that time back. But we're young. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
Hopefully
fine.
I forget about it soon.
Hopefully. Don't forget to send us your movie stories or your movie requests at our email, sytyi@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like this movie like Kelley, or do you just think it's okay like me? Or have you never seen it?
Are you a Nicolas Cage fan?
Why?
I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan. I just like this movie.
Honestly, you will need to explain to me why. Like, you will need to write an entire dissertation. Like,
He needs a TED Talk.
I need you to go into a thesis. I need some evidence, because that man cannot act. That man picks terrible movies. I really need you to explain to me.
Yeah, he needs it.
And if your argument is good enough, I'll hit you up on Insta or something.
Okay, you'll watch another Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah, I will of my yes
of their choice. Of their choice.
I will watch a Nicolas Cage movie of your choice.
Yes. Y'all better bring some strong arguments.
Yeah, it like literally it needs to be a good argument.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck.
Good luck.
Also, you can share us with your friends and your family. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. Mm-hmm. Also, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, because it really helps us out, helps us get seen.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and flu season is upon us, so wear your mask. Yes, I think please. It's also booster time, so like everyone go get a booster. I'm gonna go see if I can get a booster, because like I want it.
Let's go.
I realized that I got my first shot almost a year ago.
Really?
And they want people to get their boosters 6 months after their second shot. And I'm like, oops.
You're like,
can I get it yet? So yeah, maybe I'll like go to the doctor and be like, hey, can I just get a booster?
Right.
It's been almost a year. Yeah, but also wash your hands.
Yes.
Yeah, and stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.